Good evening and welcome, fellow compatriots, to this debate for the United States of the game. Today we have PEYTON and we have Tony, and we will be deciding who becomes Secretary of Transportation. Now, I am Secretary of State Nina Bedoni, and I will be moderating this event. You may know me best for my upkeep of the Secretariat, the prized racehorse. Now let's begin. PEYTON, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about your campaign, your slogan, what your main intentions are as future Secretary of Transportation.
Yes, hello. My name is PEYTON SZN8, and today I will be focusing on going from the inside out. And if I could just share my screen really quick, if I could figure
By all means.
Okay, so my name is PEYTON, and I will be focusing on the movement of our souls from one location to another rather than our earthly bodies. And legally, I am just a multi-level marketing enterprise. Today, I will be using crystals, candles, and essential oils to use this as my platform and help me throughout this analyzation. And if you need to, you can use Boss Bitch as your code for 20% off your next purchase. And of course, I was meditating the other day, and all of a sudden, the physical being of pollution entered me from behind while I was in downward dog. And I realized that pollution sucks. It sucks. And just to show this, here's a photo of life with pollution. Very dark. And this is a photo of life without pollution. That's right. If we get rid of pollution, One Direction will come back into this world. And I think one of the main issues with pollution is that we've been told that it is not a tangible object, but I felt it. I felt all 6 inches, and I know that it is. And what's causing pollution is gas. Gas is bad. And I think we all need to acknowledge that. And we need to get rid of gas and replace it with other things, such as essential oils or vagina juice. I will be building my platform today entirely on the stance of getting rid of pollution so we can more easily move our souls from one location to another. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, PEYTON, I too hate it when pollution hits it from the back. Now, Tony, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your campaign?
So I am Tony, and I just want to say, you want to get somewhere, just go. Tony for Secretary of the Department of Transportation.
Okay.
Now let's get into it. I am running on the platform that I believe teleportation is the way of the future. Let's just take a look at it. This is life before teleportation. It's going downhill exponentially. Sucks. Everybody hates it.
Yes.
This is like, that's the crowd at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. But I assume that they have the same kind of energy. Excitement and happiness, children maybe, who knows. And let me just say this, I find it really funny that my opponent PEYTON SZN8 says that pollution sucks, but has anybody really seen where she goes on Friday nights? I think she sucks even harder than a Dyson ball animal 2 upright vacuum, but that's just what I have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony. That actually leads us right into our next section. PEYTON, he just mentioned that you suck as hard as a vacuum cleaner. 1, I commend you. 2, I would like to hear, 1, your rebuttal, and 2, what do you think makes Tony unfit for the position?
Well, I do agree that I might suck as much as a vacuum cleaner. I don't entirely believe that's an issue with my campaign today. In fact, I find a lot of issues with Tony as a person and as a human being. Tony, I may have done this without your consent, but I've recently interacted with your aura. We've been incredibly intimate and very close with each other. And I found that your aura it's in the wrong place. I've interacted with it, and I found that it's hard and it is rough. And your intentions are not as pure as you are making them seem. You are not as pure as you are making them seem. And I can't trust someone with a bad aura in the position of the transportation person in this world.
Thank you, PEYTON. Thank you for divulging about a man's aura. Tony, how does your aura feel?
I just want to say I feel a little violated on one hand. And on the other hand, I just want to say, Peyton, remember those clowns from 2016? I don't think we want to trust anybody whose grandmother is actually a clown. Grandma Giggles, if only she were here to tell you, because boy, oh boy, that's all I've got to say.
Thank you. Okay. Now, Peyton, that was a very bold claim on Tony's part about your grandmother being a clown. Is there any fact to this, or is Tony just spewing lies?
Yes, my grandmother was a clown, never the clown that he's insinuating, though. She was never a clown that would scare people in 2016 because she was far too old. She could not hide in those cornfields. She could not scare those people because she can't walk. She can't. In fact, my grandma recently got diagnosed with COVID-19. And Tony's pointed this out to me today. And while she is a clown, it's just allowing her to keep the lively nature through these times. And I felt personally attacked. And I think this is a sign of his aura being aura. Tony, I think you need to cleanse your aura. Okay. I have some candles if you need.
Thank you, Peyton.
Completely unprofessional. Touching my aura again, I'm feeling a little violated still, but we'll let it slide.
Tony, if I may ask, what other emotions are coming up at the knowledge of her touching your aura?
I want to say disgusted, a little slightly aroused, I guess.
Okay.
Really uncomfortable. And overall, shook, quaked.
Thank you.
Entirely.
Peyton, let's move on to a few individualized questions.
Of course.
Now, Peyton, it has come to my attention that you are in fact allergic to trains. Now, as a future Secretary of Transportation, this could be a conflict of interest. How do you foresee yourself overcoming this obstacle?
Well, I do acknowledge that I am allergic to trains. I would also like to point out that there are other types of transportation. I've already talked about the transportation of one's soul to another. I firmly believe that if I were to cleanse my soul and focus on the positive nature, I would be able to overcome my allergy for short periods of time. There are so many other things that the Department of Transportation focuses on, not just trains. And I would be able to do those exceptionally well as continue to work forward in my allergy to trains. I can drive, I can walk, I can take a taxi. Some of those things Tony cannot do. But
why, might I ask, can Tony not do these things?
So Tony can't drive. Tony, I might be allergic to trains, but I take a train far less than I drive. I would argue that trains are taken less than cars, and at least I have access to that.
Okay. Thank you, Peyton. Tony, would you like to rebuttal? Is it true that you cannot, in fact, drive?
As a native New Yorker, it's never been something that really we needed to do. I've never been behind the wheel of a car. I don't know what the difference between the pedals is. So when I see a car, I just get anxious. I just want to, I don't even know. That's why I believe that teleportation will be the way to go. So that people that are afraid of cars, that don't know how to ride bikes, like some people that may be one of my opponents on this campaign.
Okay.
So that we can have that. Teleportation will fix all of our problems.
Thank you, Tony. Now I have another question for you. My resources have told me that you, in fact, are the sole person who knows where the magic school bus is currently. Now, as it is a threat to national security, I imagine we deserve to know. So Tony, tell us, where is the magic school bus?
It's funny that you asked me this question. The Frizz definitely was my elementary school science teacher. We had a very close relationship. I don't know if you remember the show, but the little kid with the gingery orange hair, the glasses, that was me. I obviously had to change my name because of all the problems that the Frizz has
Yes.
come up with, the Magic School Bus, the problems that we've encountered with that. As of right now, the bus, she hasn't even told me. And believe me, I'm not trying to protect an old friend, because the Frizz, unfortunately, she is a domestic terrorist and she needs to be held accountable for her actions. And the bus, God, that bus was a traumatizing moment in my childhood. So I really like to not recount where I believe it is. I, off the top of my head, the last place I remember is the Bermuda Triangle, because they build an island there, and that's where she parks her bus. But you never
Yes.
heard from me.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your country thanks you.
I
Now-
love you, the United States of the game.
Yes, yes. We all love the United States of the game. Now, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much, Peyton, Tony, for your intriguing testimonies today. And I'll leave you with these parting words, the national poem of the United States of the game. Now, please raise your right hand. Hump me. Fuck me. Daddy better make me choke. Hump me. Fuck me. My tunnel loves to deep throat. Lick, 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 lick. I want to eat yo dick. Powerful words.
Gets me
Thank you.